Breaking development reaching us today. Authorities have now confirmed the remains of baby Emanuel. This is the update we all anticipate to hear, and it is the one that changes everything we thought we knew about this case. For weeks, the world held its breath. Was Emanuel alive? Could he still be found? Was there hope? But today, that hope has been replaced by something far heavier. Authorities have confirmed Emanuel's remains. And this revelation comes at a decisive moment because tomorrow, September 16th, the trial readiness conference begins. And the very next day, September 17th, the preliminary hearing follows. 2 back-to-back court sessions that could define whether Emanuel finally receives justice. Before we go deeper, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from today? Drop your city or country in the comments. This case has gone far beyond California. It has touched people across nations. And if you're new here, don't scroll past. Hit subscribe right now. So, Emanuel's story and the fight for justice are never silenced. When Emanuel's disappearance was first reported, it was treated as a typical missing child case. Hope was high. Search teams spread out. Flyers circulated. Neighbors kept their eyes open. Investigators were pointed to specific locations. Cadaver dogs, specially trained to detect the faintest sign even after months were deployed. The community believed that at any moment Emanuel would be found, but hours turned into days, days into weeks, and there was nothing. That silence was the first warning sign. In most cases, some form of evidence emerges quickly. A footprint, a trail, a witness sighting, but here nothing surfaced. It was as if Emanuel had been erased. Then came the contradictions. First, his father claimed Emanuel had vanished during a family outing, but those present said they never saw the baby there. Next, he claimed Emmanuel was buried at a certain location. Search teams dug, dogs sniffed every inch, yet nothing. Later, he reportedly told a prison mate he had discarded the remains in a trash can. Then, he changed the story again, saying it was an accident in the home. Each new version did not bring clarity. It brought confusion. And confusion, investigators realized, was the strategy. From that moment forward, this was no longer a disappearance. It was a cover-up. As investigators dug deeper, 2 possibilities emerged. Emanuel's father may have hidden him in a place not yet disclosed, staging his disappearance so no one would ask questions. Or something even darker may have occurred. Emanuel may have been trafficked or sold, hidden away, while his parents were stage story. Then came the neighbor's revelation. Information that made investigators pause. This neighbor told us directly Jake Haro should never have been near children. Years ago, when his daughter Carolina was just 10 weeks old, she was gravely harmed. Today, Carolina is 7 years old, bedridden, her life permanently altered. And yet, despite this history, Jake was somehow labeled as low risk. The neighbor's words cut deep. If the system had acted more firmly back then, would Emanuel's story even exist today? That's the haunting question. A child who never should have been at risk was at risk. And the system allowed it. In criminal cases, truth usually has a single path, but lies scattered. Jake and Rebecca's accounts scattered like broken glass. Version 1, Emanuel was lost at an event. Version 2, Emanuel was buried at a site. Version 3, Emanuel's remains were placed in a trash can. Version 4, it was a tragic accident at home. One child, 4 conflicting accounts. Think about that. Which parent forgets where their child disappeared? Which parent can't keep a single consistent story? This wasn't confusion. This was manipulation. Each new version bought time. Each new contradiction delayed closure. And in delaying, they hoped the trail would go cold, that public interest would fade, and that accountability could be avoided. Viewers, let me ask you, do you believe these were slips of memory or deliberate lies to mislead investigators? Share your thoughts in the comments. Most suspects follow one of 2 paths: deny everything or confess fully. Jake and Rebecca chose something different, partial confessions. They gave investigators just enough truth to stay believable, but enough lies to hide what really happened. One day it was burial, another day it was disposal, then it was an accident. Partial confessions are not mistakes. They are strategies. They give the illusion of cooperation while keeping investigators chasing shadows. Psychologists say partial confessions often come when the real truth is too heavy to say aloud, but every half-truth in this case didn't just delay justice. It silenced Emanuel further. This wasn't just about avoiding guilt. It was about control. control over the narrative, over investigators, and over Emmanuel's memory. What investigators uncovered next shocked even seasoned officers. Emmanuel had no official record, no birth certificate, no hospital record, no medical documents at home. And he wasn't the only one. His 2-year-old sister also had no official record. Both children were born outside hospitals, leaving no paper trail. Why? Does that matter? Because when a child doesn't exist on paper, their disappearance leaves no official alarm. No calls from hospitals, no reports from schools, no alerts to government agencies. This invisibility worked in favor of the parents. Emmanuel could vanish. And on record, it looked as though nothing had changed. And here's the chilling reality. Emmanuel may not be the only child in this situation. Across communities, there may be other children who exist outside official systems who could vanish without anyone noticing. How many more Emmanuels are out there? Invisible, uncounted, unprotected. Justice here isn't just about a single verdict. It's about whether society chooses to protect children who cannot protect themselves. When a child has no official identity, their safety depends on those around them. And if those guardians fail, then the justice system is the last shield. But what happens when the system itself hesitates? This system once graded Jake low risk. That decision gave him access to children again. Now one child is gone and another lives in suffering. This is why silence is dangerous. If people turn away, if communities stop asking questions, silence becomes a shield for wrongdoing. Silence is what allows patterns to repeat. But when voices rise together, silence is broken. And broken silence is where justice begins. Justice must not be silent. Emmanuel cannot speak, but we can. And if we do not, Emmanuel disappears twice. Once in life and once in memory. Every comment matters, every share matters, every demand for justice matters, because when the world speaks together, courts listen and systems change. And now we stand at a decisive moment. Tomorrow, September 16th, the Trial Readiness Conference. Prosecutors will set their case, defense attorneys will respond. The strategy for justice begins here. The very next day, September 17th, the preliminary hearing. The judge will decide if the evidence is strong enough to move this case forward to trial. And looming over these dates is the confirmation. Authorities have confirmed Emmanuel's remains. That single fact changes everything. The court is not dealing with speculation, it is dealing with reality. But this is the same system that once failed, the same system that once graded Jake low risk. So the question is, will the court finally rise above its past failures, or will history repeat itself? This is why your voice matters. This is why your comments matter. This is why your subscription matters. 2 days, 2 hearings, 1 chance for justice. Write justice for Emmanuel in the comments. Subscribe right now and share this video so Emmanuel's name is never silenced. Because Emmanuel's life mattered, and justice must speak loudly starting today.